My name is Daniel Mousley. I'm a professional hunter working with Robin Hood Safaris, and we've been here together with Alkas Kamatov for his hunt, which you've been filming over the last week or so. I'm here today with two representatives of the community, born and raised within these areas. One is from Lusese community, that's Mike Mulonda. He was born and raised in this area, and Lusese Conservancy is the conservancy we are in right now. Most of the hunting we've been doing, in fact all of the hunting we've been doing, has been in the neighboring conservancy, which is Salambala Conservancy. And we also have Benivia Mukasa, who is here with us representing Salambala Conservancy. He is the registered game scout, or ranger as they often call them here, who has been hunting with us. We'll just sit and talk together and explain a little bit about how the conservancies work, and you can hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, from the people who are born and raised here and work with the wildlife here. Mikey, please give us a little bit about your history, how you started off working in the conservancy. If I remember correctly, you actually started as a ranger or a game scout, and then you progressed to working as a tracker. But just for the people out there that want to know a little bit more, just give a bit of history. You can speak directly about Lusese Conservancy, where you're from, but just sort of when you started and how things have progressed with you.
My name is Michael Mulonda from Lusese area in Namibia. I was born in Lusese at the year of 1982, so I'm 36 years old now. I started working in the Conservancy of Lusese as a ranger. That was 2014, that's 2014 in short. And I was just a ranger employed there. I worked as a ranger for 8 months. And then a company, which is hunting in Lusese, is the operation company now. It's where I got employed and as a tracker, but unfortunately I was really employed as professional hunter assistant in that company. That was 2015. From there I started working for Zambezi East Hunting Safaris. That's all about when I started hunting in the, so started working in the conservancies. From there I have seen a lot of things, or studied a lot of things in hunting, and I have known many animals from the conservancies now, which I've seen just when I grew up, but when I was still young, there was nothing.
Mikey, you mentioned the being born here and growing up here. So I think what a lot of people would like to hear about is some of the changes that have arisen as a result of a communal or hunting conservancy being formed here. In terms of wildlife, what differences can you tell anyone that is watching in terms of the progression in the numbers of game and species here from the time the communal conservancy was formed to date? For those of you that don't know, the forming of the communal conservancies was as a result of the cooperation between the World Wildlife Fund, the Ministry of Environment and Tourism, the Integrated Rural Development Nature Conservancies, and also Namibian Wildlife Resorts. These are all sort of the key players that came together. And basically what the communal conservancy is, it's a designation of an area of land that is specifically held for wildlife use, i.e. for nature conservation. One of the biggest threats in our day and age is loss of wildlife habitat. I'm talking about the threats against wildlife numbers. Obviously animals need a place to thrive and live, so without habitat their future is rather dubious. So these conservancies came together with the aim of conserving an area for wildlife, with hunting being the key player in conserving the wildlife species. In order for any land area to be competitive, there needs to be a form of competitive land use. So hunting has helped fund these areas. World Wildlife Fund was instrumental in setting these areas up, and from there the hunting companies that work together with these rural communities help fund these projects and work together with the local management and people from these communities, such as both the people we have here today. Mike Malonda, just further to what I've been saying here, just give us a bit of history because you were born and raised in this area. When you were growing up, just give us an idea of what sort of animals you saw, if any, and just looking at today, what is the difference you've seen since these hunting conservancies, which is basically what they are, they're called communal conservancies, since they were formed. What can you tell us has been an advantage or an achievement for nature conservation in these areas?
I'll start like this in the question you asked me. When I was still young, I didn't know many animals. Some of them, we just normally see the tracks. The only first animal I came to know, it was a hippo. That is popular in our area. Second thing, I came to know a crocodile. From there, that was just a rabbit, the hare, and the duiker, steenbok. But most of these other small ones I'm calling now, or I'm mentioning now, you just come accidentally to see them. Sometimes it's running from somewhere, then you see it cross, and then you say, oh, there's a duiker there. But by this time, when you go around the bush, you see more duikers. You see more steenboks because they have protection from the conservancies. So the other animals, more special on the elephant, we just normally used to see the tracks. Whenever you pass, you will see the tracks. I came to see an elephant straight, live. That was when I was having 17 years. Then when I was in grade 11, when I was in a tour, somewhere not in our area, because they were scared of people. Every time they hear the smell of people, they run because they were unwanted. But conservancies have changed a lot in our area. For now, even my kids, they know the elephant. Now they know the zebra. Now they know the redbacks. They know the lechwes. They even know, the wildebeest, blue wildebeest. There are some other animals I can, mention, like kudus. We have kudus now in Rusese. But those days, they were less and they were scarce. To see a kudu, it was like a dream. You would try to follow it so that maybe you see it better. But for now, wherever I go, I'll say kudu. Normally, at the place where I'm living, next to my village, I every time go there and check, I have 2 bulls of kudu here, I have 2 bulls of kudu here. Because now even my kids, whoever they know, animals are protected by the conservancies. I think, having a conservancy, it's playing a very big role in wildlife. That's all about the history of Rusese, more especially to my side when I was growing. For now, I can mention many animals which are in Rusese. By that time when I was still growing without conservancies, they were not there. Even hippos, we just normally see a head popping out of water and then back because they were scared. For now, they are friendly with people. We also love them, they also love us. There's no way, I can say some other people, they say there is problems. When you have animals in the area, there's problems. Wherever you will be, without animals, you still have problems. So even if we say we don't want animals in our area, they will be coming from there, bringing problems, we bring problems to them. So it's better we love each other, us and the animals. I'm not saying that because I'm working to the company which is dealing with animals, but I'm saying that for the experience I've experienced from my youngerness up to now, I can say many things on the animals, more especially in the improvement which conservancies have brought. I thank you for that.
Benevia Mukasa has been the registered game ranger or game scout who has been with us. Every hunt has to have a game scout with us, but they don't just play the role of escorting hunters and making sure we stay in line with in accordance with nature conservation ordinances and the Ministry of Environment and Tourism. But they also do patrols, inspect the area, remove snares, and generally they are there to protect the wildlife. What I would like you to just explain for people today is just a little bit, and you're from Salambala, so just a little bit on how many people are employed under the Conservancy and as a result of the hunting industry, and a little bit more about what your jobs are outside of the hunting, but also in patrolling and anti-poaching and those sort of things.
My name is Mokasa Benevia. I'm come from Skanjavuka area. I work in Salambala Conservancy. I have born in 1974. I'm 43 years old. My background is I started school 1981. Then I finished the grade 12 in 1996. When I finished, I stayed in the village 1 year. Then I started working at Salambala Conservancy 1998 as a peace worker is what I was doing in Salambala. Becoming my performance was good, then they just promoting me to become a permanent worker. I started working in tourism enterprise. Yeah, I was a campsite manager. Before that, I started to my fencing crew for core area for conservancy. Yeah. Then is when I becoming a permanent worker in campsite staff as a camp manager. I worked there from 2001 to 2008. I changed to become a game ranger in Salambala. Yeah. Then from that, we were having courses trained by IRDNC how we can patrol and protect wild animal species. And these conservancies, they were having just a little, like a warthog, kudu, and daiga, and leopard. Those are animals we were found in the Salambala Conservancy. Then when we started the conservancy, the ministry and the WWF are the supporters for conservancies. They brought impalas first in Salambala. Some they were from Waterback, some they were in Botswana. They brought in here. Then we have got the core area and the broader conservancy. Two sections. The core area is where the animal were brought in and protected there. The broader is where we can find people rising there, building, resettlement and other things. Then from there, they brought other species, wild beast and the giraffe, and eland, and what we call waterback. Yeah. So the elephant, they're just naturally moving up and down from national parks and Botswana side. Those are the animals we have in Salambala Conservancy. Yeah, Salambala now is having employed 51 members. We have got a management committee, there are 31 members. From 31, they elected 9 members, executive committees. Then we rangers, we are 21, and we have got camp staff. From there, I think the conservancy have been employed a important role for that. We receive the conservants are contributing the meat to the community, and the other things that benefit from peace work, community that benefit making peace work in the conservance also. They are getting money for that to minimize unemployment.
Benivia, you are one of 21 rangers or game scouts for Salambala Conservancy. I would just like some of the viewers to understand what are the sort of jobs a game ranger does in terms of anti-poaching patrols and removing snares and all of the things to ensure that the wildlife in the area are protected. But I think from your own words, just explain the sort of jobs and duties that you and your fellow rangers are doing on a daily basis.
I'm a ranger. I'm doing patrols, and we have got four campsites, 4 camps, and we have got the ant poaching camp, have got safari camp, have got the campsite, all surrounding the core area. We use normally to patrol, to look after wildlife, and we have got a game count. What we did every year, once in a year. Then I've got the event book, which we normally record every month. We record the species, animal problem, and predators also, and rare endangered species. We record in that book. Then at the end of the month, we collect the data, then we report monthly. From there, we are working with the hunters. When we come to the program of hunting, the rangers, like now I'm here for escorting the hunters to hunt the one of the species which is needed in that area. So we normally protect these wild species, and now there are more that increased, because if it could be not having game rangers, this species we are talking about, now it could not be being here. Because of rangers, now the species are more. As we are making game counts, they're getting improved.
Benivia, before we finish, I would just like to ask you just to add anything that you would like to add, or that you would like anyone to understand about the communal conservancies, hunting, and how everything works. But just basically anything you have on your mind, or you would like to just have people understand, because I think there's a big problem in this day and age with the understanding of how these things work. So anything that you would like to add, please feel free to do so.
Thank you, Daniel, to your question. It's very good. I think the conservation is good because it brings more income to the community, and even the younger one now, they're becoming knowing the wild animals. Previous, they were not having animals here. But now even the students are traveling, making a tour, coming and entertain them to see how environment it is. Yeah. And I add on the hunters that are playing an important role also to the conservance. Because if it could not having the hunters, now the species, it could be just destroyed by poachers. And also the hunters that play a very important role to the game guards. If you are not there, that side where the hunters is hunting, when you hear something like guns, they just report to the rangers, and then they go that side and arrest that person who destroyed the species. So very good, important thing The hunters, the conservants know where can they get income. They get income from hunters, this hunting program which is running.
I would like to add on what my colleague said. Yeah, there is a confusion in two things. Hunting, in some they say no hunting. There are two things, all of them they play a role. But importantly is, without money, there's no protection. So when hunting is in the conservancy, you generate income to get people who protect your animals. So everybody will need money to do that work. Without money, nobody will do the job. Because if for somebody to leave his village to go stay in the forest like rangers are doing, nobody will volunteer him or herself to go there unless there is money. For the government itself to bring more money, to add on protection, it will be a problem because money will be less and poaching will be more. Because species will be just walking all over, nobody's watching. But for now, when hunting is happening, that is the conservancy generates money, which goes to the protection or to wildlife care on the money from hunting. For example, for people who knows in the areas where there are some conservancies, there is a great change in development in those people who are living there. For example, now you go around in all conservancies. In Rusese, people in Rusese now are trying to have electricity in their villages. Where does the money come from? Money comes from hunting. Because now they protect their animals where they have to harvest old ones for the generating money. I'll talk about sustainable use. When you have 100 and then those 100 increases to 200, that is now overcrowded. You have to reduce on the number for the new generation. When you harvest, you look for older ones. Then you harvest, then you leave the new generation. That's sustainable. So if we leave our animals again, not hunted, controlled, you find out they increase more and more and more and more. There will be no space, they will not have food. So they will be now go somewhere where there is no protection, where they will be hunted, illegally. So when they are in the conservancies and they have people who are looking after them, that means they will be in a safe area. So you have to think on two things. When you are doing, conservation, you must know also you have to reduce on the number again. Because the more they increase, it's the more you lose. That's all what I wanted to add. I can still add more again. In areas, Rusese now, at the school, there is a community hostel. That community hostel comes from money which is generated by the conservancies. The school for Rusese now have a computer. So all students that are now learning computers, our nations here, they were still a little uncivilized. For now, when you go in Salambala Conservancy played a role. It is supporting, I would say maybe 13, 14, 15 areas. In those areas, there are schools. Those schools, they get computers from the conservancy. Now, our areas here now, they have places such of the traditional kuta. Those are where we have village councils. Those areas are now built with, standard structures. That's money also from the conservancies. You still get clinics in other areas. It's also from the money we generate from conservancies. So conserving and hunting, they work hand in hand. Without hunting, you will not get money to protect. It's same like to a farmer. Somebody who have cattle, if he doesn't sell 2 of them to buy medicine for those cattle, I think his whole crop will finish.
We've talked and heard about some of the benefits that hunting plays and the role it plays in conservation. But just to talk about the hunt directly, there are many different players in any hunt, from the professional hunter, the client himself, the trackers, the drivers, the rangers, the guys doing the skinning, the people in camp. It's a very large team effort for everything to come together for a successful hunt. And I think maybe far too often a lot of the players behind the scenes don't receive enough appreciation or attention or mention, because it is a team. And so I just want, while we've got these two here, to just say thank you very much. We had a very, very good hunt. Everyone played their role. We hunted really hard, and without you guys with us, none of this would have been possible. And that goes for the same as the rest of the team. So Benevia, thank you very much. Mikey, very much appreciated. Everything that you guys do, truly appreciated it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As I'm standing here or sitting here talking about wildlife, I just wanted to ask my fellow African people or Namibian people, or even my brothers and sisters, cousins, whoever knows me, whoever understands what I'm talking about. My cry there was to ask not to shoot animals just for nothing. It's better we keep them, generate them until we use them in a good manner, so that next year we will have some more animals and we will know more animals. Like in our area for now, those days there, in our elders, our fathers, they knew a wild beast. We grow up, we don't know a wild beast. Why were those animals not here? It's because they were not cared of. For now, they are trying to come back. They are trying to socialize with people. I would like to say to human being, if you fight, there is something they call reconciliation. So it's better we reconcile with animals, keep them to be friendly with us. Now animals, they are my friends. I love animals the way I love my kids. It's better I must keep that love which I give to my kids, which I give to my cattle, also to wild animals. It's good. The other time I found somebody's taking care of a small daycare, which was abandoned by the mother, or the mother was killed, until that animal gets, old, and then he said, now you can see for yourself. That's what I'm feeling to do, and it's what I love people and like people to do. Thank you.
I thanked all of the team and everyone that made it work, and I just want to say thank you very much to Alkas Kamatov, the client. He has paid for the safari. The funds have gone towards conservation and all the efforts here, but without him none of this would have been possible, and none of us would have been together now. And I truly believe that the contribution that is coming from hunting is improving conservation and wildlife numbers in these areas. I think it's essential, and I wouldn't be doing this unless I thought good was coming from it. I think a lot of people don't understand what hunters are and professional hunters, and like any other industry, you've got the good and the bad. But I personally would not be doing what I am doing if I didn't think I was making, and our actions and what we do was making a significant contribution in preserving and protecting wildlife species.
My dear friends, my fellow hunters, anti-hunters, and anyone who will watch this video. The reason I am hunting is not because I want to participate in some sort of a record book competition or have a bigger trophy. Yes, I do collect trophies of animals I hunt, but first of all, I collect them to praise a quarry I hunt. I think if you remove from the nature something beautiful, first of all, you have to pay for it. And second of all, you have to praise the animal. You have to put in good use its meat. You have to put in good use its skin. And you have to put in good use of his horns. And I think that's the main approach to the fact that I'm collecting the trophies. But beyond that, my biggest achievement in my hunting career would be if I could come to Namibia in 20 years' time or in 10 years' time and hunt with my son here, with next generation of my fellow Africans, and we'll have a game here in abundance, so we'll have enough animals, and conservation will thrive, and we will be surrounded by schools and the water pumps and medical centers, and my friends in Africa will appreciate wildlife even better. And then I will be absolutely on the top of my game if in 25 or 30 years I'll be hunting here with my grandson and with the next that generation of the African people who conserve together with my 3 generations of my family wildlife in Africa. That's what I want.
Robin, one of the things that I've wanted to ask you and get your opinion on is, do you think the hunting and safari outfitters today are putting enough emphasis on the conservation aspect of what we're doing? Because you and I both know that this is a wonderful example. When you took over this estate, there was virtually very little game on it, if any, and now it is a teeming wildlife preserve, and you've achieved this in 8 years. Do you think a lot of the outfitters are working along the right sort of lines as far as continuity of conservation is concerned?
It's very simple, Paul. If it pays, it stays. And that means you have to put a value on wildlife. And if wildlife doesn't have a value, people don't see a reason to keep it. And they will use land for other forms of business, for example, agriculture or whatever. So wildlife, if we want to keep wildlife habitat intact, you have to find a way of using it. And there are several ways of using it. You have photographic safaris, you have adventure safaris, and you have regulated hunting safaris. Now, one of the big problems we have is a misunderstanding by the layman of between what is a legal hunter and what is a poacher. Unfortunately, a lot of the time we are classified under the same umbrella, and people who are on the internet, etc., they do not understand the difference between a hunter and a poacher. A hunter is a wildlife manager, a poacher is a wildlife thief. It's that simple. To answer your question more fully, are people actually doing enough for wildlife conservation? I think yes, but one should never rest on one's laurels. There's always room for more, the Springboks there. There's always room to improve what we do. And we had a very successful project in Tanzania, which we still have, which is called the Kalman Community Wildlife Project. And we have literally saved the lives of thousands and thousands of animals by involving the local communities. All the communities that we work with, and there are about 30 villages that we work with in Tanzania, they get 20% of the government game fees, which we levy as an extra to our clients, and they pay that direct to the communities. How are you doing? Now, this whole project, Paul, you're asking about it.
Yes.
It's very expensive.
It must be.
Last year, Dan said to me, "Do you know how much this all cost you last year?" I said, "I've got no idea." He said, "Well, it cost you the equivalent of one brand new Toyota Land Cruiser like this, $67,000. Come on, girl. Come on."
And you've got the security problem.
And we have to pay the anti-poaching. We have 2 full-time guards. That's not cheap either.